boy, it's a cold one this morning. I'm out, I'm actually taking down my cables. I'm just hanging them up. I don't take them out of the ground, but I'll close the loop and then I'll move it out of the trail so nothing can get caught in it. And I'm going to cover the sets I have in the ground. I'm going to cover them. I'm expecting a big snowstorm this afternoon into tonight and then maybe into Monday as well. So check my sets at the pond yet and see if I have any catches, but other than that, I'm taking down my sets again. Weather this year is really crucifying me. I thought for sure I might have had coons moving last night, but I passed my one dog proof already and it was untouched. But it was extremely cold, and a lot of times they won't move in the extreme cold. They might have denned up already, but we'll see. See what's going on. Oh boy. I got about 17 degrees, 18 degrees inside the cabin this morning. Yeah, cold. Using the old bucket trick. If you have a set like that, dirt hole, whatever, flat set, you can use a 5-gallon bucket. Cover the hole, cover the trap, and then let it sit right out the weather. That way you don't have to go digging it out. I've made that mistake too many times before, where I've had to dig 2 feet of snow off of sets to either take them out or, you know, uncover them so they'd be useful again. Ooh, there's fresh deer droppings right there. That's good. Haven't seen a deer in 2 weeks. I've seen some fresh tracks today, but I haven't actually seen any deer. That's the first fresh sign I've seen in a couple of days. Usually I'm picking cables up every day from deer, knocking them over, but not this year. One more trap to cover and then we should be winterized. I just have to assess how the storm is going to go. They want it snow into ice, so I don't know what my accessibility is going to be. If it just snows, that's fine. I can drive in the snow. I have to see what sort of ice conditions come following that, but we'll see. Well, I got the bike back inside. I have to charge it. The battery is weak on it, but right on cue it has started to snow. It's cold today, so no catches today, so we'll have to postpone our trapping for a little bit yet until I see how deep the snow is going to be. Yeah, like I said, they're calling for snow and then maybe a layer of ice on top of that, so that can be fun. Although I covered all my footholds. I don't have too many footholds in. I have more cables than anything else. The cables are pretty quick to reset. All I do is I'll leave them where they are, anchored in the trails, and then I'll pull them up out of the trail and then close the loop down so I can see them, so the snow doesn't bury them. So we'll have to reset those next week, Monday maybe. Maybe we'll see if it stops snowing tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back and reset them. But I definitely have coons messing with. I had two pullouts yesterday for coons on DPs. So we're gonna see what goes on with that. I knew there was quite good coon activity around the pond. I'd seen lots of tracks and stuff over there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I haven't seen any deer. Not too many. Usually they herd up in the wintertime. Surprised I haven't seen them out scouring the fields, although they don't like when you can see all the crop are down now, so they don't like traveling when the fields are open. It's too open for them. At least when the corn is up, they can, edge the corn or stay covered in it really quickly. All right, time to go home and wait out the weather. Well, the creek is finally back to its normal size. You can see how badly it had flooded. That's where my box was. It actually washed the dirt in around it. It buried it. There's where the water normally is. There's our channel back to normal, 1.5 feet wide. Phew! I just pulled all my sets. That was a absolute waste of time. Yeah, water trapping was pretty much non-existent for me this year. I trapped a few rats out of the pond. Didn't have that much of a population this year, and it's like that sometimes. Some years, you know, you catch 2 or 3, 4 or 5. Other years, you know, it's 20. It just depends on the population. But I had sets in the creek for mink and muskrat too, because they use the creek to travel up and down the creek, of course, to come into the pond. But this year, every week it was pouring rain. As soon as it stopped raining, it'd take 2 or 3 days for the river to go back to normal. It wouldn't stay at normal for, you know, 24 hours, and then it rained again torrentially, and it's like back up 2-3 feet. It's like, oh, it's pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. These sets have been this is the first time I set these sets in the end of November. It is now January 6th, and that's the first time I've been able to get back at those sets to actually get them out of the water, because the water was raging. But it is what it is. I mean, you're really stuck with the weather conditions. You have to deal with what you have. But I mean, I was really surprised that my mink box was high up on the bank, and it just got flooded. It was underwater multiple times. Okay, get this gear back in and back home out of the snow. Well, I have deer tracks everywhere in the snow, but I haven't seen any coyote tracks. Deer. Those are mine. Even this way, that's a deer. That's a deer. Had about a foot of snow, but it's melting down already, and now it's gonna rain, and now it's gonna flood. Back to flooding again. It was in the high teens. The temperature. Those are all deer tracks. All the way out there, look at them. It was in the high teens, the temperatures, but now it's supposed to go into the 40s. This is going to melt, and it's going to be an inch of rain tomorrow, and this is going to be back to a soup hole. Big old deer track. Look at all the deer tracks. See where they're digging up the corn? You see all that? It's all deer tracks. Look at it. Amazing. Look at them all. Wow. Look at all the deer tracks. This is amazing. Look at it. That's crazy. I'll never be able to pick out a canine track out of this in a million years. Those are all deer. There's my, look at, they walked right up to my set. There's the set I had out in the field for canine. I'm pretty sure those are deer tracks. Yeah, deer tracks. Look at, they walked right up to my bucket. See how well the bucket works in the snow, especially a black bucket. You lift the bucket off and boom, it's like new. There's my pan right there. Back on you go. Yeah, the black bucket's melting the snow off. I think those are all deer tracks. And they go on off that way as well. Crazy. Well, I got a ton of deer tracks, but I didn't see any coyote tracks or any fox tracks. This is all going to be gone, I think, tomorrow. We want it to heat up, and they want a lot of rain. Right now, it's time for me to go back to the van. tracks everywhere. Look at them. Coming in behind my stand there. There's my one set. Ah, look, he walked right past it. Look it. Buried in the snow. There's a trail there. Deer. Look at the deer tracks. So I don't sink. It's frozen. Some of it. Let's see, deer. All deer tracks. I still have my cables down. This is the first time I've come in about a week. Oh, that's still a mud hole there. Ice. I'm walking, I can feel it crunching underneath me. Look at here. Big deer footprint there. You hear the ice underneath me cracking. I'm walking on frozen water. There's a good trail right there. Look at it. That's a good trail there. There's another good trail there. I have a cable on that one. Let's see what this was. Well, that looks pretty small for a deer. Could have been a feral cat, a fox. It's hard to see. The print is distorted. That's deer. That's really mashed up with deer. Look at all this. Look at the tracks. It's almost hard. There's another trail there. It's hard for me to see canine tracks with all the deer. Tracks are everywhere. Look at it. There's another trail here. So I had the cable folded up on that. What was in there? I don't think that was a deer either. You can see my cable there. A lot of drag feet. That's where they've been dragging their foot. That's deer, deer. Oh, this is going to be super wet in here again. Wow, I'm surprised there's a lot of tracks coming from here. They're coming out of there. But not so many through the field here. Bird tracks. There's all this water in here. Another cable there. Oh, that's a canine track, I think. It's hard to see. I thought that first one there was a canine track. It's hard to tell because it melted down a little bit. That's a squirrel. I'm walking on more ice. Squirrel, small game tracks. Okay, get back in here. We're gonna reset some cables again. My dog proofs are still buried in the snow. It's not melted down enough for those yet. They're buried. Look at the deer tracks in there. Look at it. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get moving on. Well, that's interesting. Looky there. There. And look, we have a little urine mark on my cable where my DP is there. Let's go back this way. See small prints, squirrel prints right here. That's cat or canine there, and here. Little mink box down here, but there's no trap in it. Let's see. That's definitely canine there. Buried in the snow. Ice. Ice. No coon tracks. Too much snow for the coons. Oh, I'm standing on ice. I gotta be careful. Okay, time to go. Okay, I hope you can hear me over the bike. I almost got stuck back there in a freaking snowdrift. It was bottomed, the whole bike was bottomed out. Some of the field is completely bare, and then some of it with the real high winds, it's drifted snow. It's 2-3 feet deep, and I was just sinking right down in it. It was interesting seeing those tracks in there. There's a lot more tracks in front of me here too, but it's cold. Alright, time to head back home now that I've seen that my one set out in the field here is completely buried. It's buried. But I'll be able to run my cables, I think, still. We're going to give that a go. There's too much snow for productive footholds. I'd have to dig a foot of snow off of some of this stuff. Alright, let's get on, see what else we can find.